10 men, 20 men, 30 men. I'm on something. 10 men, 20 men, 30 men. That do what's up. 10 men, 20 men, 30 men. Yeah, drink 'em up. Yeah.
We rolling. You know what it is, man. DJ THORO, a.k.a. Thorozano, Bridge to the Streets. Right now, you are watching the hottest in the streets right here on thisis50.com. We live from One World Studios. Shout out my man, Boy Wonder. You know how we do. Got a special guest in the building. Introduce yourself.
What's up, people, man? I go by the name Musa, Major Man from Newark, New Jersey.
Newark, New Jersey. You know what's crazy? We just had Willie Esco here. He's from Newark, New Jersey. I don't know if you knew that or not, but that's dope. So there's a whole Newark thing going on today. You know, when I think of Newark, I think of artists like Redman. You know what I mean? So a lot of dope artists came out of Newark and contributed to hip hop. You know, where do you fit in on that spectrum, musically?
I think, listen, me personally, I'm from Newark, so the only thing like I can say being the rapper from Newark is I'm probably the best that came out of there. I mean, even though I might not have a claim in it, that's just how I feel. I feel like I'm
as you should.
Like from a soul like lyrical talent perspective, I just feel like I don't think Newark had anybody like me.
Right. Wow. That's a big statement. Come on.
That's how I feel.
That's a huge statement. Wow.
So shout out to Red, man.
Right.
But
no, you feel how you feel. You're supposed to have confidence in yourself. You know,
I'm sure Red.
He's supposed to feel the same way.
Absolutely.
Right, and if you don't feel the same way, you're in the wrong business. Absolutely. If you don't feel like you're the best or strive to be that or one of the elite, then you shouldn't be doing this. That's just how I feel. You know, this is a competitive nature. It's not a sport, but you know,
it's a sport.
Business. It's a sport too, but technically, it's not a sport. You know what I mean? I'm glad we're having this conversation because my man, shout out to my man, Boy Wonder. He knows my favorite words up here are rap, spit, lyrics, talent. These are some of my favorite words up here. You know what I mean? And with that being said, I want to ask you one simple question. You've already answered it, but I like to hear it again. Can you rap?
Absolutely.
Now, I'm not talking about rapping gifts.
No, listen. Listen, I don't even like being called a rapper or referring to what I do as rap.
What do you call it?
Like I enlighten, I inspire,
you enlighten,
I inform,
you motivate.
I do a lot.
Preach.
I do a lot.
All right, so I'm glad you said that. I like the way you're talking right now because I have a segment on this show, and it's called "You're on the Spot." That's what that spotlight is for.
I like that. I like that.
You're on the spot. All right, so that just means we need to be enlightened. We need to be informed.
Yes,
we need to hear some bars. You know what time it is. Let them know the name. Let them know where you're from.
Listen, Musa, Major Man, Brick City all day,
Brick City. Let's get to it. Let's go.
Let's do it. You ready?
Yes, let's go.
I said everybody sliding, everybody stepping. Everybody gang, everybody repping. Till you catch him in that cell without no fucking weapon. And the gang ain't around to call him for protection. Who the fuck is y'all impressing? Is insecurities and hurt behind y'all aggression? You're emotionally fucked up and you mask it with that hard perception. Especially when firearms be in y'all possession. I blame your father though. The next stop's the day room playing dominoes. Throwing mackerels and tunas up in them ramen bowls. They call a judge your honor, but he ain't honorable. I graduated hard knocks with straight honor roll.
Woo, keep it going, keep it going.
I said so many nights I was up in that cell pacing. Old heads used to tell me I was impatient. They said them 8 years was gonna fly by, but it's barely service in the cell, it ain't no Wi-Fi. But still, I gotta risk it with the cell phone, cause it take 3 days to get the mail home. Plus they confiscate the nudes in the mail room. But now I got them all sick, I get well soon. I never cop a charger, I'm a caddy nigga. And I don't really like to argue, send an addy nigga. Won't pay for murders, I got shooters in my family, nigga. Probably misunderstood, I don't need you to understand me, nigga. I might do wrong, but shit I mean well. Check on your folks, even though they might seem well. Fuck the streets, heaven's where I want my name to ring bells. He holla gang to a nigga on his team tell. 25 to life, this where his Rich Porter dream fell. A new facility, at least you get a clean cell. But your favorite rapper ain't gonna tell you that. That fictitious thug life he living, he gonna sell you that. I swear I hate these niggas. A single night in jail will probably break these niggas. The Walking Dead, somebody wake these niggas. Come on, man. Come on, man.
I like where you're going. You're talking, you're teaching. You're giving them the other side of that. I love it.
For sure.
I love it, man.
For sure.
I want to ask you a question. This is a hypothetical question.
Come on,
Let's say I produce a record, right? And I say, yo, I want you to rhyme on this record. And you have the option, you could put any artist on this record. It can only be one artist, though. They could be dead or alive. Because we're doing hypothetical. Dead or alive, any genre of music from any era. Doesn't have to be hip-hop. who would you do a song with? Any era, any genre, dead or alive. Who would you do a song with?
Now I wanna go. I told you DMX and Pac.
Okay.
Is like my top two. I want to go with them, but I gotta go with Lauryn Hill.
Lauryn Hill. Wow.
I gotta go with Lauryn Hill. I just think that'd be like some.
She from Jersey?
For sure.
He keep it in Jersey. He's real Jersey. I like that.
Sure.
Lauryn Hill. I can see that. What would that song be called?
See, Lauryn, she kind of, we have like similar thought processes, and she was more along the lines of getting people to elevate and see beyond their circumstances. So I would. It could be something simple like elevate.
Elevate.
That's what we both about.
Right. Shout out to Lauryn Hill.
Shout out to Lauryn.
Right. Now I already know who 2 of your top 5s are. I need your top 5 dead or alive. I know it's DMX.
Pac.
And Pac. I know that already.
Pac.
Who else we got? We got 3 more.
DMX. Beanie Siegel.
Oh shit, Siegel.
I'm about to.
Okay, I fucked with Siegel.
Joel Santana.
Hey.
And the 5th.
I never heard Joel's. That's dope though.
The 5th is The 5th is always hard, man. I'm gonna have to go with Nas.
Nas. Okay, I'm not mad at that. That's dope.
Now the fifth changed a lot. For me.
Right.
The 1 and 2 never. 1, 2.
Is that in any particular order, or that's just?
No, that's the first.
So you put Joel's over
order.
Nas?
Yeah, I'm just
okay.
I'm just a Joel's guy, man. I can't help it. That guy some.
Joel's is dope.
Listen to his first album, man.
I'm from Harlem. You preaching to the choir.
Oh my God, man! From me to you, his first.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, that guy, he different, man. To me,
no, he's dope. No, when I ask somebody top 5, there is no wrong or right answer. It's their top 5.
Right, for sure.
It's their top 5.
But like I always find myself arguing for Santana, man. That's my guy.
I mean, it's your top 5.
That's my guy.
I can't argue with your top 5. Like
that's my guy.
It's your top 5. Now, if you would have said Doja Cat, you would have had a problem. You think Doja Cat is better than Nas?
Does Doja Cat rap?
Never mind. You answered.
I don't know.
That was an inside joke. I was here arguing with somebody about Doja Cat.
Wait, I know nobody.
Bro,
they didn't do that.
Yeah, they did that.
Wow.
Someone said, yeah, they did.
Wow.
But that's another story.
I'm glad I wasn't in here.
He said they didn't do that. So listen, man, before we get out of here, man, is there anything you want to speak on and chop it up about that we didn't touch on?
I want to give you a more thorough understanding of this Moxie thing, man. And this album is not just an album. The word Moxie kind of it exemplifies like my entire life. Not to get too long-winded, but after I graduated high school, man, I went to college in Pennsylvania.
Where'd you go?
It was a small school called Cabrini. Why did I go there? It was like a D3
You played
school.
Sports or anything?
I went there and I couldn't. I did.
Academics,
it was like
you just went?
I went for academics,
Okay.
but I played ball, but I just couldn't be in that environment. So every time I had to stay there over Thanksgiving break for sports, I would end up leaving. It was like a culture shock coming from like North and going to an environment where you can count the number of black people on 2 hands. It was like a culture shock, and I couldn't deal with it. Then after the first year, coach reached out to me, man, what's up? Second year did the same thing. After that, I just said, I'm not playing ball. But anyway, man, my second and third year in the school, I was like the school had this big end of the year celebration, and I started to notice like throughout that school year a lot of like racist activity taking place on the campus. And it was one night I was walking with a friend of mine, and somebody yelled from one of the dorm rooms, "Black people smell like shit." And me at that time, I won't lie, I had been getting in trouble in school, fighting.
Right.
I wasn't really doing too good. Well, at that point, I was turning it around. I had brought my GPA up from like a 1 point something to 2 point something, almost 3. But at that time, I was trying to do the right thing.
Right.
But once you try to do the right thing, you always end up getting tested. But that night, my homie I was with, he kind of took offense to what the guy said. He ran up in the building.
Right.
So long story short, outside, a little scuffle ensued. Police came. Everything.
So you found out who did it?
Good.
Who said it?
We could kind of tell. Where the window was positioned, what door it was. So we went up there, banged on the door. Nobody came out. But the guy came out. He was escorted by like the campus police.
Right.
And we noticed like a group of guys was like forming in the back of the dorm.
Right.
So he must have called his friends to wait for him when he came outside. So he walked past, waved at us, what's up, and got in the middle of the guys and said, "Yeah, I said that shit."
Right.
Then that's when you know, a scuffle ensued.
Right. Wow.
So maybe 2 years later, you know, at the end of the school year, they had like this big celebration, parties all over the campus and all that. And I was in the dorm room, my man dorm room from Philly, and he stepped off, and I'm standing in the hallway vibing, chilling, and I see some of the same guys from that night walk past, staring at me.
Right.
I mean, I'm from Newark. Like I don't play none of that.
Right.
Like, and I mean, what you looking at? I mean,
Right.
so we go back and forth, exchanging words, and my ex roommate, he was my roommate the year prior. He walked up like, "Yo, man, chill. I mean, it ain't even worth it."
Right.
Grabbed me and we walks off. So as we walking off, there's a big crowd, like you could barely move in the dorm room, and they re-engage me again, step up on me again, going back and forth with words. Now at this point, I'm not really good with like arguing.
Right.
Like I just be ready to. So at this point, I'm like, I ain't doing no more arguing. They saying what they saying. Now they get to the point where it's pussy, nigga. Now at this point,
and this was from white boys.
White boys, all white boys, and it was about six or seven of them.
Right.
So it got to the point where one of them pushed me. After that, it was over. So once you put your hands on me,
you gotta defend yourself. No, you have the right at that point.
Right. I don't. It don't matter how many it is. Like, so we going back and forth as a scuffle. And I remember I'm fighting with the guys, and it was like a small hallway, so they all couldn't get at me.
Right.
So the one that was in front of me, I was just giving him everything. And back then we wore like the army jackets. I had the green army jacket. I remember they pulled the jacket over my head.
Right.
At that point, I'm like, oh nah, then this ain't about to happen. I had a knife in my pocket.
Right.
I pulled the knife out of my pocket and I just stabbed the dude that was in front of me. So once I stabbed him, I ain't continuously stab. I stabbed a couple times, and then they let me go. Once I seen a little crevice,
right,
I got up out of there. But I ended up being charged with attempted homicide. You know, I made bail.
Is that what the 8 years were for?
Yeah.
Wow.
I made bail. I was fighting my case from the street. I went to trial, blue trial. They convicted me of attempted homicide for defending myself against 6 or 7 guys that initiated physical contact.
It was a hate crime.
It
was hate crime.
Exactly. And everything I'm telling you, it came out in court. But the weird thing about it is, during my trial, every witness that they called to the stand was one of the guys that was attacking me. Every witness was one of the guys I was fighting.
You didn't have any witnesses?
I had the guy, my ex-roommate got beat up too. He was there. He filed the police report. They wouldn't let him press charges because it would affect my case. So they wouldn't bring charges against none of the guys that messed him up. He went to the emergency room. He was like hurt. You know what I'm saying? By the grace of Allah, I didn't really get hurt too bad. But yeah, he came and testified on my behalf. Even the guys that jumped me, that came to testify. Mm-hmm. You know, you could tell the prosecutor tried to coach him up, is what they say, but they all admitted that they jumped me. But you got a jury full of all white people, and I'm in Pennsylvania, so the facts of the case didn't really matter.
And what did your lawyer have to say? Please don't tell me you had a public defender.
No, I went through like 3 lawyers because all of them just seemed like they didn't seem right. Yeah.
See, I was about to tell you that you're probably in a situation where the lawyer was definitely not on your side, just taking your money and going through the motions, because you have a defense. That was self-defense. Stevie Wonder can see that, as you're telling me this.
And the lawyer that I had, he went in and like we game planned. I wasn't playing. I would go to his office in Philadelphia, sit down, talk, because I couldn't get anybody from no Jersey lawyer, New York lawyer wanted to go and do anything in Pennsylvania.
Right.
Nobody wanted any parts of Pennsylvania because how foul and corrupt the system is. But I would go to his office. We would game plan. All right, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. And I'm not even telling you everything that happened. The stuff the prosecutor was doing, trying to get a buddy of mine to come to court and lie. They was trying to do so much foul stuff. It was another kid that I was cool with. He had like a burglary case or something. They used that case, right, to force him to come to court and lie. Well, he wrote a statement. They forced him to write a statement saying that he seen me do this, he seen me do that. But when I spoke to him, I'm like, look, just come tell my lawyer what really happened. So he came and he's speaking to my lawyer, telling him what happened. And my lawyer like, well, why are you telling me this now, but you said this in the statement? He was like, the detectives wouldn't let me say anything that was going to like help him. So every time I wrote something or told the truth, they would ball it up and make me start over. So my lawyer one day, after I left his office, he sent me a recording of a voicemail. And the same kid, he a white kid, you know how somebody, they're on the phone and they think they hung up, but it picks up like on a voicemail?
Right.
So he must have called my lawyer and thought he hung up, but he was on the phone. You could hear it. He was in tears, talking to his mom, like, why did I get caught up in this? Why are they making me do this? But you could just tell, like, he was being forced. He was on the phone crying. And when my trial came, the sheriff picked him up every day from his house, escorted him to the maid, because he didn't want to come and lie on me.
Right.
And even when he got to court, he got up there and he told the truth. But you dealing with an all-white jury panel. Like, no matter what was being said, it was one guy on the jury panel. He would always smirk at me every morning. He'd just be smirking at me, a weird smirk. And I'm telling my lawyer, like, something not right with this guy, man. And my lawyer, like, I'm gonna address the judge. Even during the jury selection process, like, they intentionally, like, struck. I don't know if you know about that, but when you pick in the jury, it's like a pool of like maybe 100 and something people,
right.
And they wean their way through everybody till they get down to the 12. But the prosecutor was just striking like every black person.
So it's not one black person on the jury.
No, this happens. So when we pick in the jury, I tap my lawyer like, this guy's like blatantly like striking every black person that comes up here, and you're not arguing it. So he goes say something to the lawyer. They have a sidebar to the judge. They have a sidebar. And he said, well, the last black person that was up here was automatically on the stand. But they give you like a questionnaire. When you read the questionnaire, this guy saying he was pro police, he was pro this. Like, he was black, but he wasn't black, is what I'm trying to say. Gotcha. So you had all white people and then this guy. So it was like a lose-lose like situation. I don't care. And then the first few days of my trial, I came back home, because I'm driving back from North to PA for trial. The first couple of days, I'm feeling good. Like I said, the guys came to the stand all the minute, they jumped me. And then one day, my lawyer, he said, yeah, they offer you a plea agreement. I said, why are you even telling me that? I said, we kicking their ass right now. He was like, well, they offer you like 5 years, like 2.5 years to 5 years. Now I'm out on bail, so that means if I say, yeah, I'll take it, I'm going to jail that day.
Right.
No, I said, I'm not taking it. I said, we busting their ass, like what? And it just seemed like after that day, it's just like he just sold me out. But it was a crazy situation, man. They ended up convicting me of attempted murder. They sentenced me to 20 years, 8 of which I had to spend in prison.
Wow. Are you still on paper?
Yeah.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah. It's almost over. And I thought about, and I went through the whole appeal process, same thing.
Right. You
got a slam dunk case in appeal. Every case law points to the fact that like attempted murder is not enough evidence to like support attempted murder, because in Pennsylvania the only degree of murder that can have an attempt attached to it is murder in the first degree. So it can't be a murder, attempted murder in the second degree, or attempted murder in the third degree.
Right.
So whatever constitutes murder one also all those elements has to be present in attempted murder.
Right.
So murder one is intentional, premeditated, you planned it out. So that's what attempted murder is. My lawyer argued that, and then he was absolutely right. Brought statutory law, case law to support it, but again, you're dealing with a corrupt system. If they make a decision on my case, being in this Commonwealth, they use
I was gonna say it's a Commonwealth state.
like case law to dictate everything. So if they make a decision in my case, it would affect everybody else's case. So they don't make like big decisions. So even if they know what you're arguing in your appeal is right, they'll shoot you down just so it won't affect law.
Because then they got to go back and
so many other people get a load of my case law. They'll find that case and use it to try to get there. So to stop all that, they just deny you. So it's just a messed up system, man.
Wow, man. Sorry you had to go through that, man.
I mean, it's a blessing, man. It made me who I am today, man. It definitely. If I didn't go through that, I wouldn't be the man that I am now. But going through it was definitely rough.
Right. Being from Newark, who were you listening to before you decided, to get into hip hop? Like, what was your first introduction to hip hop?
All right, now I'm gonna start off by saying I was just in the car going crazy. DMX and that's 1A, 1B.
Okay,
they're my top dogs. But when I started rapping, I was listening to like Dipset. It was all Dipset.
Okay.
Locks.
Okay.
G-Unit.
That's a good place to start. Banks is tough. That's a good place to start.
When I started rapping, that's what I was listening.
So you listen to what I call barbarians.
Yeah.
I call them barbarians. They got bars like they're barbarians.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You into lyrics and substance and
for sure.
You know what I mean? I love that. You know what I mean? I definitely love that. Now, Let's talk about what you got out right now musically. What are you promoting? What are you pushing right now? What's going on?
Man, I just dropped the project, man, called Moxie, man.
Moxie. Break that title down.
I do this with everybody that interview me. Moxie. When you hear Moxie, what do you think Moxie mean? I do it with everybody. What do you think
What
Moxie
I think Moxie means? Actually, I don't know, because I don't know what that word means.
So use the first. Everybody, see, if somebody asks me what the word means, I'm gonna say I don't know, lightning. Right. But everybody give it a shot and they guess. Everybody
I don't
get
know
it
what that
wrong.
means. I don't know what that word means.
But Moxie means like perseverance.
Perseverance. Okay. See, you teach. I like to be just teachable moments. I like that. But go ahead.
It's like the ability to overcome
hardship.
So no, you faced with some type of struggle, some type of difficulty, and you push through, and you come out on the other side better than you were before you faced that hard. That's Moxie.
That's Moxie.
That's
See,
Moxie.
you learn. You're never too young, old, or smart to learn something.
Right.
That's dope. How did you come up? Why did you use that word? Because you think outside the box lyrically? Is that a taste of what you do lyrically? Like you think outside the box, using words like that?
Listen, Moxie, I'm gonna tell you, without being long with it, I'm gonna tell you where Moxie came from. I did 8 years in prison, right?
Okay.
And then we had, like, I was in the mountains in PA, so we had no urban radio stations. They had this one college radio station that we would get on the radio, and they would play like Joe Budden's, like one of his mixtapes. And I heard.
Was it Move
Music? One of them. I don't know. It was 4. One of them,
Yeah.
or whatever it was.
Right.
And I'm in Pennsylvania, so the only ties I had to Jersey was listening to Joe Budden's on the college radio station.
Was it Princeton radio?
It was. I know it was like Wilkes-Barre.
Okay.
University.
Oh, you out there in Scranton?
I was in like central Pennsylvania area.
Okay.
So yeah, I heard Buttons use it in a record. I'm like, Moxie.
Okay.
I mean, and then in prison you got access to a million dictionaries, so I went searching for the word. So when I went and searched for the word, it just like that's me. Like I possess that. I have that, and I told myself from that point, one of my albums is gonna be entitled Moxie.
Right. So that just gives point to what I was saying. Music, the older someone is, or more knowledgeable, you learn something. So he indirectly taught you a word. You went and looked it up, and you carrying it on. That's what music and being older, not even older, more knowledgeable can do for somebody. You know.
Right.
Now, someone 15 or 14 probably would have never gave you that. You know what I mean? That enlightenment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So all that stuff in hip hop, like they trying to put ageism in hip hop. We shouldn't do that because we're dealing with the mental. Mm-hmm. It's not physical. We're not playing a sport. That's why I say we're not playing a sport. Mm-hmm. You could lose both your knees right now and still rap. You can tear your ACL right now. Yeah. So we're not playing a sport. So we got to do away with that narrative. Oh, they're old. That's good. That means they're more knowledgeable.
But you know who created that narrative though?
People that can't rap. People
it's the people that created that whole narrative is like big record labels, because they want to deal with a young, inexperienced person. They're easy to manipulate. They know they don't have any life experience. They could dictate the direction of their music.
You're right.
But that's where it stems from. Like that's who put the age limit on rap. You can't.
Good point.
You can't. Right. Long as you got the mental capacity, like you said, you could go ahead and rap till you 80.
Until you 80, until forever.
Right.
Literally.
You can't speak anymore.
You know.
Absolutely.
So if it's like that's how the Supreme Courts work. They stay to death, and them dudes is old. Yep. 80, 90, Clarence Thomas and all them, in the 80s. Oh, yep. But they stay there to death. Yep. You know what I mean? So if you can run a country at 80, 90, why you can't rap?
Right.
So don't let people tell you that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Good point. Now, you got any videos out right now associated with this project you're putting out?
I got videos out. See, this how I kind of amassed the little following that I do have. I would do a lot of freestyle videos, and that's how I started.
You're speaking my language.
I got I generated like a crazy buzz. I'm talking about rapping anywhere, in the car, anywhere.
Oh, okay.
And back during the time where social media was still allowing you to go viral before everything came about paid promotion, I went viral just about almost for a stretch for like a whole year. I want to say like 2018. Right. Like everything I was putting out was just going crazy.
Before we get out of here, man, if anyone wants to contact you, especially in this situation now, maybe someone's going through that. Maybe they can get some legal advice from you. Or I'm sure you was up in that law library.
I definitely was. I lived in there practically, man. Yeah. So
if somebody want to contact you musically, what have you, how can they do that?
Man, you can follow me on Instagram, MOOSA_. _major, MAJOR, or you could just go to my website, musamajor.com. That's MUSAMAJOR.com.
Right. Now, is there any chance that that conviction could be overturned? Or is just you don't feel like going through that?
A crazy story. I've been in contact with so many people. Everybody who hears my story want to try to do something to help. And I was actually, it was a director. I met him in Manhattan. He's from out here. He's a white guy. We was going over like, everything from a music video, and I met him at Starbucks somewhere over here. And once I started explaining to him and his wife what I went through, they didn't even care about the music video no more. They just wanted to do everything
right
to try to help me. But
right.
I mean, I'm sure some way you can get back in the courts, but it'll be a hard battle. And of course you can go through like the Pennsylvania had a commutation process where you could get like pardon or get like
right.
But it's just like I gotta go back in front of the same type of people.
Same people.
Right. It's just like is it worth it?
Right.
But a part of me, I'm a fighter, man. So I want to fight, but.
Right. Well, I would say put it in your music, man. Put your struggles or experience in your music, and maybe it can help someone in the future. You know what I mean? Sure. So that's what it is, man. I go by the name of DJ THORO. Let them know the name.
Musa Major.
Exactly, man. And like always, when you see us, one knee us. That means get on one knee, kiss the ring, and pay respects. We out.
10 men, 20 men, 30 men. I'm on something.